Hello, I thought I'd take you out of my bedroom today, since I thought you might think I was a bit of a pervert, just lying in a stinking bed covered in sweat and sort of rubber gloves. And instead I've taken you into my garden, and before you see my pride and joy, my summer house, my little petit toit, as I like to call it, quite Swiss chalet-like, I like to think, you know. Some might call it a shed. But I think that does it a disservice, an injustice. So we're inside the Swiss chalet now, and I'm just going to pop my camera on my tripod. I'm not going to break, because I don't believe in editing. I think that's the resort of the person lacking charisma, who doesn't have faith in their ability to keep their watchers entertained, and has to cut in and cut up their films, trying to make themselves look all arty and intelligent and interesting, when in fact they're not. However, I do not need to do that. Oh dear, that's not very well positioned. That's not very well positioned at all, is it? Oh dear. Let me just twizzle that then. There we are. Ah, much better. Oh god, I'm looking quite ruddy, aren't I? Looking quite farmer-like. Oh, that's not very nice. I'm looking a little bit fat as well. I've put on some weight, haven't I? Look at that. Maybe my rosacea's back. Rosacea, that's a little skin complaint us of a Celtic extraction often suffer from. Anyway, the reason I was doing this is because, as some of you will know, who've watched my videos very carefully, I will be having some throat surgery, some surgery of my vocal cords in the next 2 weeks. And I thought it was rather important to document some things about my life before that surgery, in case I should expire, you know, pass on. And you may say, why would you think that would happen? But let me tell you, as those of you who may have watched my videos even more carefully will know, I have had quite a dramatic health history. I had some surgery in Colombia. I used to live in Colombia. I still kind of go there quite a lot. I'm currently in the UK, but it's quite a complicated story. I won't go into that. But anyway, I had some surgery, and it went rather wrong. And my lungs failed, and I ended up intubated and in a coma, and in some distress and difficulty. This intubation, which was about 2 years ago, damaged my throat and actually caused a tumour to grow in my throat, a tumour called a stenosis, which had to be removed because it was actually stopping me from breathing. It was quite dangerous. And it was extracted by a laser, and that caused further damage to my throat. And that's why possibly my voice sounds a little bit husky. You may think it's sexy, but it's actually quite painful. And therefore I'm having this surgery, and it should be about the first operation of maybe 3 or so, aimed at kind of trying to repair some of the damage that was done. And what obviously some of you may not realise, you probably think, well, this guy, why does he need throat surgery? He seems perfectly expressive, very, very charismatic indeed. I only wish I had a mere thimble of his talents and charisma and vocal expression. Well, for you watchers and mere also-rans of the street, I can understand why you might think that, but actually I am as of nothing compared to the glorious shining star I once was. Yes, if you can believe, there was a day before all these complications and difficulties when I was a bit of a doyen of the theatre scene, the youth theatre scene, and no doubt the people who went to watch me would look upon me and presume that a great and glorious theatre future lay before me. Well, they were wrong, for they did not and could not possibly predict the cruel fate that lay before me. I mean, I often envied these people, these audiences that saw me at my peak. For I often wished that I could be part of the audience watching me. But obviously that's impossible. It's one of the cruel ironies if you're a great performer, that you can never quite watch yourself in the same way as your audience can. But there we are. And it's even crueler indeed that they were given this wonderful gift to see me, and how could they have predicted that talent would be so transitory, over in a flash like that. Over. Finished. Yes. It's quite tragic, really. But never mind! Do not fear! For it may come back. These wonderful surgeons may restore my talent once more, and then I will be able to bestow it upon ye. And I shan't forget ye who followed me during my traumatic days, my difficulties and illness. And ye shall be rewarded. Yes? Yes? Anyway, I'm sure I'll think of something later to say. But until then,